Welcome back to 90 Seconds Plus with Invercargill City Mayor Nobby Clark. Well, we've had the valedictory speeches, I've got that wrong anyway, on Tuesday, was it? And now it's sort of, just keeping the seat warm, isn't it, really, next few weeks? And how many sleeps you got?
Well, hang on, I'll have to ask Karen what I can actually say on this, because, you know, it might have been in PE. No, I've got 13 sleeps left.
Right.
Yeah, 13 sleeps.
Oh, well, may as well kick it off. So this will be, what, your second or third last episode?
Yeah, probably second or third.
Before you put out the pasture and you become a has-been and a nobody again.
Well, to quote an esteemed councillor, I'm, a very poor mayor, so... very disappointing mayor.
Yeah, apparently. Even though you got a lot of stuff done.
Oh, no, it's nothing about that.
No,
it's all about image, isn't it?
So let's look at some of the stuff you got done. We've done everything from, the museum, that was probably the biggest. What is it? Your vanity project is certainly coming along now. It's looking good as it's come together.
So I guess it was disappointing that two of the valedictory speeches from Evelyn Cook and from Leslie Soper, who's a councillor, were extremely negative, I thought.
Yeah.
Look, I put my hand up for the couple of codes of conduct we had, which one of them was really ugly, which was the so-called comedy on TV, and it got me into a lot of trouble.
I might just say, we did tell you not to go on that show, didn't we?
But,
and just we're on that, the biggest travesty over that whole incident is the way the mainstream media covered it, but also the way it was manipulated. But also, the biggest travesty is that taxpayers pay for that garbage TV. I mean, that's the crime about the whole thing. But anyway, carry on.
So, if you look at the list, I sent a list out to my colleagues just before that meeting, day before, saying, look, sometimes we get a bit lost in what we've achieved in the last 4 or 5 years. So it's about 40 items long, or projects long, and it's reasonably extensive. So obviously at the top end is big issues like the museum, ICL, which has revitalised the inner city, Jeff's Hotel, places like that, but also the fact that we haven't spent millions and millions of dollars on wastewater down at Bluff, and they tell me now we might have to spend little or nothing, which is great because some of my colleagues were very hostile about that.
And we're grandstanding to be fair. A couple of them were.
People have asked me, what's your biggest achievement, and they assume that I'm going to say the museum, but it's not that. It's been able to get through Penny Simmons, our local MP, who I think is great, and get to those top 5 RMA ministers and say to them, look, it's all right for iwi to push back and say they want all wastewater discharged to land and not to go to a river, estuary or sea. It's all very well to have those cultural beliefs, I guess, but it comes at a national cost of about $40 billion. It's just eye-watering. And so the government has listened to some of the stuff that I put them and realised that what Mahuta was claiming was, 180 billion over 30 years is now down around about 40 or 50 or 60. So it's more.
And it wasn't based on any science or evidence either. It was all just woo-woo and feel good.
Yeah, I know. But we've done lots of quiet things. I mean, you cast your mind back to the beginning. We were struggling getting the Chinese garden done. And there was talk at one stage that it was going to double in cost, and we needed to bring 20 or 30 Chinese workers out to complete it, which is just absolutely ludicrous. So we've got a lot done. We've had our arm wrestles. I've cancelled 3 projects, which didn't sit well with some of the people in the community. So we cancelled Streetscapes Stage 2.
That's right.
Upgrading the building that we are currently in, and also ACI, which is a new art gallery that was going to go in close to Jeff's Hotel. And between those two, $59 million saved. So while you look at the museum and say, it's going to be very expensive, when you look at it as a 50-year project or a 100-year project, it's not that expensive, and it'll be outstanding. But it has to come at a cost of some other things that we would have liked to have done. You just can't keep doing projects, as Tom quite rightly says. The next 3 years need to be pretty low in investment and those sorts of things.
Next on the list is the Briscoe's building, or the burnt out, the old building there. So any progress there? We've still got the containers out the front.
So what I can tell you about that is, one of the things about being in politics is you never, at election time, promise something you can't deliver. And Tom's quite right that there is no quick fix. The dilemma we have is that the building is listed Heritage Class 2. And so the government has freed up that a little bit. They've moved some regulations that says councils can remove buildings off the heritage list if they put them on there.
Yeah.
And now this one we didn't put on there.
Right.
The heritage people themselves did it. And so the dilemma we have is the heritage people say, well, we'd like to maintain it. Even if they gutted the building and just left the facades there, it's millions and millions of dollars. The current owner doesn't have that money and doesn't have enough insurance coverage. The only outcome I can see is that the building needs to go. It needs to be tipped over. There are people lined up that want to do that. I know of at least 3 groups of investors that want to do that, but they can't knock the building over. So it seems to me, unless government can step into it, because that's the solution, and allow us as a one-off to deal with that building, it will sit there and rot until it becomes a dangerous and unsanitary building.
A bit like the Bluff Hotel.
Well, a little bit like 66D Street as well.
Oh, yes, true.
And look at the dilemma we got into there, where we had a Gear Thompson, an investor, was prepared to take that building off us for $1, and he was going to develop it like he had done in Timaru, and put retail on the bottom and a couple of flats up second or third floor. We turned him down. Well,
the chief executive at the time did.
She did.
Claire Hadley, we should name her.
And I was opposed to that because we then had to demolish the building and it cost us $1 million.
That's right.
Just ridiculous.
Yep, just crazy.
So, no, that building doesn't have a quick fix, unfortunately. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Because what we're up against is a very strong heritage lobby right throughout the country, and they see these buildings as being a bit of a slippery slide. Once they start allowing them to be taken off, where do you stop starting?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the reality is you could mow down the ground and everything and do something really quite good with that whole block, to be fair.
The block's doesn't look good. The ground's probably not too bad, but you know, where Waxy O'Shea's are and places like that.
Well, that building and the one next door, the old Southland Daily News,
Yeah, they're not good. So, our hands are tied by the regulations. So, I have been impressing on Penny that they need to do something, even if it's a one-off ministerial approval, just to allow us to deal to it. So, fingers crossed. I'm meeting with her shortly, so I'll reinforce that again.
And just flipping back to council stuff again, and even in their main electional, government, but especially local governments, I think there's well and truly a justification for term limits.
Yep.
Look, Tim did great up until, but I mean, probably 10 years would have done, 15, but 20 something. Yeah, I think we're pushing it. I mean, another example is you've got Suzanne Prentice over at the ILT. She's been there 18 years. And another 3 before that, and she's going on again.
Darren's been here 24 years.
Yeah, I know. So it's like, where does it sort of end? You know what I mean?
Well, I think that if you look at national, the government situation, very few parties go more than 3 terms.
Yeah.
I can't recall any in recent times that's gone 4 terms.
No, John Key hoped for a 4th, but he didn't get it.
Yeah. And so I think there's a lot to be said about that because it brings new ideas and new blood in. You don't want it too short because you don't want to have too big a turnover. And I'm aware of some organisations that turn over the directors way too quick. And so there's not consistency there. But I'd be in favour of 3 being the maximum.
Which is 9 years.
Yep. Then you have to go out for a year.
Yes.
And if you want to come back, then that's okay.
And if you're any good, the public will put you back on.
Correct.
Yep.
And it gets away from the name recognition.
Yes.
If I had my way, and I won't have, but certainly when we get to talk to the Local Government Commission about amalgamating in Southland, one of the gaps I see on many councils is that there are skill gaps that we just don't have.
No.
Now, if I was thinking about a combined council, think about Invercargill. We've got 12 councillors and a mayor. The mayor should be elected anyway by the public. But if I had my way, 8 of the 12 councillors, or maybe 9, would be appointed by people in the community, but the government would appoint 3 or 4 others. Now people say, oh no, it's interference with localism. What a load of rubbish. We need to have on our team people with finance backgrounds, governance backgrounds, big project backgrounds, people that know the business.
Yes, understand.
Lawyers.
Yes.
A lawyer would be helpful because we shop out a lot of stuff to law firms in Wellington that cost us an arm and a leg. So it would be great to have some outside people in post. Now, sure, if you did it now, National would put on the people they want, but then when Labor comes around, they'd put on the people they want. So it would still be, you wouldn't be running against that. And I think that's a way of getting a better spread of knowledge as well. But so be it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's all about, I love how some of the councillors, it's campaign time, of course, how they sort of go on about it's their service to the community, whatever. It's a lot of them, it's a grift, and it becomes a full-time employment when it's not really to subsidise your income, but some of them are using that, and it's like, are you really there for the good of the community, or are you just there for the cash moolah?
If you think the next term, a council will probably earn 50,000 a year.
Yeah, yeah.
A chair will probably earn 60, 65 range. So that's reasonably good top up to an existing income. Different if they were just doing that, because in some democracies, council or local body can be a full-time job. It can really be that way. Say for argument's sake in Auckland, but here it's not.
Yeah.
So you could have another job.
Yeah.
You could be making your millions here and still be on the trust, the licensing trust, and be on council as well. So it's good money. So there's a lot to be said about refreshing, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you're already on council and you have a name that's known, it does give you an advantage.
Oh, it is. I've always joked with some family that anyone can be. Anyone with a bit of name recognition, you can be a chainsaw murderer or whatever else. But as long as you've got enough name recognition, you can guarantee to get on council.
I mean, we're very lucky here that we have a split in our council that's left-leaning, or what I would say would be negative at times. But the majority of councillors on our council came via the ticket.
Yeah. And
people don't like the ticket on the other side of the house, as it were, because it gave me enough votes, normally 7, just enough. Or in some cases I've had to use a casting vote, which they don't like either. But if you go to Dunedin, they've got 14 councillors and a mayor, so 15, 3 Labour, 5 Labour, 5 Greens, and 5 for the business community. And it's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare,
So,
But just on the Dunedin one, it's been full of Labour Party hacks, or former washed-up MPs for years. That's half the trouble.
Well, that's the dilemma that they face, is that while they're a big city and are trying to be progressive, I guess, in some ways, and all the electorate seats in Dunedin are all red. All Labour, have been forever.
Totally.
So it's a little bit like having a very left-leaning council sitting in a rural blue area. It's a bit of a shame.
Yes. That's 90 Seconds Plus with Invercargill City Mayor Nobby Clark. Until next time, see you later. But hey, make sure you get out and vote. You can vote all around town. There's bins, supermarkets, and for more information about candidates and other things, go to whatsonivers.nz.